At AVW, we get to see a lot of different branding exteriors and concepts that our customers roll out worldwide. And we're here in Evansville, Indiana with Zack Fortner talking about Wash Boss and one of the coolest concepts we've ever seen. Our resident architect, Larry Zaroth, is going to go through how we developed this concept and then rolled it out to the field.
Good morning, Zach.
Hello, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And one of the things that I have always said as an architect, a great project makes you look back. And so I'm pretty sure that everybody who leaves your car wash as they're exiting looks back and go, wow. So congratulations. I think it's really a wonderful project.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
the first question I have is, how did you come up with the color or the colors that would represent this brand identity?
The colors, it's kind of funny how it came about. I wanted to go a really bright orange where it would almost hurt your eyes when you drove by to see it. And so I got brought all these samples from my first location from the construction company. And I just kept rejecting them. I'm like, no, that's not what I want. It doesn't hurt your eyes. And they're like, it's gonna look like a circus. It's gonna look like a circus if you're not careful. I said, well, then let's try it. So they finally brought me the color I wanted. They're like, well, you really don't want to do this. No, I really do. And they're like, man, we talked about it in our office and we don't think that's the right color. I go, well, that's fine. This is the way we're gonna go. So we put about half the roof on, because my first location, the orange was on the metal roof. And they got about halfway done with it and I get a phone call. Okay, maybe you were right. This is the right color.
So this kind of leads me to my next question, which is to say that as an architect, I've always been very much interested in when either an architect, a client, an owner, or the combination of those three take the kind of standard prototype. And as we mentioned, the kind of standard prototype for a car wash is a long bar, which often has a curved roof, translucent, and then a vertical volume at the entrance and at the end, right? And that's kind of the kind of standard prototype. So it's obvious that when you were thinking about this project that you wanted to kind of break that mold and do away with that kind of standard prototype. So how did that come about? Was that something you wanted to do? Was that a conversation with you and your architect? How did that all come about?
The tunnel I built previously to this was that. It was the curved roof with the two verticals at the end. And it was kind of the first one around here to do it. And then others within, a couple hours of here started popping up. I'm like, okay, it's time to switch it. I don't want to do that. So the original concept was kind of look like a car. So if you look at this from far away, it's very much similarity to a car. So we came up with that, stuck the colors on it, and then it just evolved. So there's nothing wrong with the way that everybody else does it, but I feel like by building it this way, you can be like everybody else, but then you're just gonna get the results like everybody else does.
And was that part of your marketing strategy? And I ask because I know that car washes tend to go after adults, right? Because they're the ones driving the car through the car wash. But I think it's interesting that you potentially can go after a children's market who will say, hey mom, hey dad, let's go to that car wash that reminds me of Lightning McQueen. Was that part of your marketing strategy?
It is. So being a father of 5, there's sometimes you just want your kids to be quiet. And so when they say, hey, let's go here, and you're like, it doesn't matter, we'll go there. So I really wanted to create an experience. So anybody can wash a car, I want to make it fun.
So let me switch gears a little bit. And sometimes when I go to a car washer, some people will ask me this question about form follows function, which is a term that was done by this architect, Louis Sullivan, to suggest that a building should be representative of the function of the building, right? And so there's that one end. And I like to think that there's another spectrum, which is a quote by Frank Lloyd Wright, who also had worked for Sullivan, who kind of takes that quote and says, instead of form follows function, that form and function should act as one, and it should, in essence, be a perfect unity of the two.
As far as the function of it, it made it a little difficult with the vision that we had, as far as being able to make the car wash work inside of here. Like I said, a tremendous amount of changes that had to go in from the original vision just because of the way we wanted it to flow. So these things are a lot more difficult on the guts of it than what anybody would think. I know when I first started, I was thinking, some brushes, some soap, some water, it's a piece of cake. But I think once you build one or two of them and then you get into it deeper, the amount of behind the scenes stuff that you want to make sure is functional. And so it is important, but the shape of this building kind of it threw some wrenches into it.
So along that process, were there moments where you just felt like, what did I get myself into? This is way too much, or?
Yes, for sure. You know, when the concept comes out and it kind of starts spreading out, your phone begins to ring. It does, and you have people wanting to buy it before you even get it open. And I can't sit here and honestly say, oh, I never even thought about it, because you'd have a bad week and you're thinking, okay, maybe that's not a bad idea. But you just got to keep pushing, and my wife pushed me through it too. We've been down this road before, and when I do it, I go all out and I put everything I have into it. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it well. What's your take on, wow, this thing is really, really going to bring me this incredible business and success and on down the line? So the whole concept of everything I did was that I'm not going to pay a marketing company, because I'm going to build a marketing billboard, and it's 24/7. So the architecture is huge. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to make it where when you drove by here, I mean, every detail as far as the lights and the custom vacuum arches and all the lights on those, and the 100-foot flagpole with the 30x50 American flag. We noticed that coming in. I love the American flag, and it's very, very, I hold it very near and dear to my heart. Awesome. It's very important to me. But everything out here is, when you drive by, you have to see it. You have to see it. Yeah. And then what I'm hoping goes on is, what is that? Well, that's a car wash. We have to go. It's fun, you know. It's fun for me to try to think way outside the box and see if we can do something different. And you know, I just hope and pray that maybe my kids do the same thing, and maybe they can make a difference, and maybe they can build something that people say can be done to be successful. Well, it's definitely an architectural icon, and you cannot miss this. And I actually hope that nothing gets built around here, right? Because as you approach it, it's this beautiful object in the field, which I think is really, really quite spectacular. Zack, thank you. Thank you very much. Wonderful talking with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Zack, one of the byproducts of building something this spectacular is you've set the expectation level of customers way up here when they come up to your site to get an experience. How do you deliver on that with your wash process?
You know, you have to partner with the right people. And when I say partner, it's the chemistry, it's the equipment. You have to get that right. And you have to lean on people. And so I try to put enough equipment in here where I have to guarantee a clean car. And we study it. We study it every day. We watch cars. We study the cars going out every day just to make sure that, you know, clean, shiny, and dry is what they have to be.
You went with our dual belt here, and you also went with a 36-inch. So you're 6 inches wider on both sides than a typical belt. Can you explain kind of what your thinking was on that?
This area, we have a lot of larger trucks, and they like to run the wider tires on, and we have a decent amount of dualies as well. And I don't like turning customers away. And so with the belt, it allows me to load faster and a little bit more freedom. You can wash the lower setting sports cars, but I can also wash the larger dualies.
And so you're a family-owned business. And so how has AVW being a family-owned business affected your decision to work with us here?
Well, I like working with, I want to say the small guy, and obviously AVW is not small, but it feels that way. You know, I went up there and took a tour of the facility, and they were extremely welcoming to me. And we blended well together. And you know, they're just another hardworking family. Yes, they're large, but they work hard, and they care about their customers, and they care about their products. So, you know, I don't want to call into a call center and just hope that somebody calls me back. You know, with AVW, I have cell phones, and I can call a guy's cell phone, and I know they're going to get back to me, and they're going to care. They're going to care. They're going to back their product, and I'm not just another customer. It's somebody they actually do care about, and that's the feeling I want my customers to give, and I know that's the feeling that AVW definitely gives us.
So this is your second site. Can you tell us a little bit how you got into the business, or what the Wash Boss story is?
So there is no miraculous story here. So I had a very good job at Toyota, and I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot, but I got bored. It wasn't too long after that, we're driving down the road, and I look out the window, and I see an automatic car wash. And I thought, man, if they do that, I bet I can do that. And that's really how it started. So I started researching it for about 2 weeks, contacted one of my really close friends who's a very successful entrepreneur. And I said, hey, I have an idea, and I want to run it past you. And so he says, we'll bring a 12-pack, we'll go to the basement, and let's see what we can do. So that's how my first semi-automatic site came. And then I got into it. I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to go bigger. Came up with another concept, and I had 4 kids, and my wife was pregnant with our 5th, and I completely walked away from my job having no idea if we were going to have an income, and kind of went all in on it. And it all just kind of evolved.
Yep.
So
Cool.
zero background in car washes. I like to learn, so I just took a chance.
Thanks again for joining us here today at Wash Boss. They really delivered a best-in-class operation inside and out. We appreciate you watching the video.